what does the future hold, at least from a local advertiser's perspective? Will they increase their spending? We'll find out in this Local Marketing Minute.
Welcome to Corey's Local Marketing Minute, an enlightening and entertaining look at what's happening in the world of local advertising and marketing. Corey's Local Marketing Minute is brought to you by Adcelerant.
Adcelerant provides best-in-class digital advertising solutions. Our proprietary technology covers your entire sales funnel, from proposal creation and campaign launch to monitored performance. We collaborate with local media companies and agencies to deliver excellent customer service, sales support, campaign management, and more. As an industry leader, we'll go above and beyond to ensure your success. Unlock your digital advertising potential with Adcelerant.
Hello everybody, welcome back. I've missed you. For this minute, we're going to go over the results of the latest Borrell Business Barometer. That's what these B's stand for. This is a survey we do every quarter with our SMB panel, hundreds of local businesses, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, we ask them about the past, present, and future. And something changed this time. You've seen these before, and they've been pretty steady, maybe up and down different things, but a major shift happened. And we all know that sometimes in life, shift happens. But before we jump into it, remember to subscribe. More importantly, comment, like, engage. I get a chocolate chip cookie for every like, so it's kind of important to me. Anyway, let's get into the Borrell Business Barometer. And let's go over the boring stuff first so we can get to the really good, juicy stuff. Okay, first let me tell you how I'm going to set this up. We're going to look at 6 years and how local advertisers answered the same questions in these 6 different time periods. All November except for December because those were crazy pre-COVID days. We didn't have our act together. I don't know. But first, a couple things I want you to keep in mind as you see these numbers. This guy right here, we asked this set of questions after we knew the results of the election. That's important to keep in mind. Same for that guy. Let's look at the first question, which is all about the past. We asked, over the past 6 months, do you think it's gotten easier or harder to sustain a small business in the US? So we're just going to look at the ones we said it's harder and it's easier. Okay, I'm almost off the screen. These are the percentages that said it's gotten harder. So back in December of 2019, 39%, and then you see it jumped to 83% in good old 2020, then 60, 62, 50, and now 47%. So it's gotten a little bit better, pretty much on par with last year. The ones who said it's gotten easier over the past 6 months, 17% pre-COVID, then 6, 14, 7, 5, 9. In the single digits for 3 years. Okay, so overall not much change when we ask them to look backwards. Now let's ask them about the present situation. Specifically, how would you characterize the current economic situation in the US for sustaining a small business? So what is it like right now? We're going to look at excellent, good versus poor. Big bump up in 2020 to 44%, then bopping around the low 20s. At least for the last 2 years, 22%, 22%. The percentages that said excellent or good, 58, then dipped down to 14, 26, 19, 27, 28. Again, really stable in the past couple of years. So, what am I all excited about? Well, again, this is looking backwards and present day. Then, we ask them to look out 6 months. Ha ha ha! Watch this. Okay, first, we ask them, during the next 6 months, do you think economic conditions for sustaining a small business in the US will get better, get worse, or remain about the same? So we're going to look at the get betters and get worses. First, the percentage that said, oh, next 6 months, going to get worse. 25% pre-COVID, jumped up to 43%. Then after November of 2020, 34% in 21, 40%, and then the last 2 years, 25%, and just now 27% said, oh, the next 6 months is going to get worse. What about the percentage that said, no, it's going to get better? Pre-COVID, 12%, and then 17%, 19%, then back down to 13%, 15% saying it's going to get better in the next 6 months. What about now? The latest survey. 36%. The first time since 2019 that this number is higher than this number. Look at the optimism. 1 out of 3 say, hell, next 6 months gonna get better, when it's been pretty steady numbers in previous years. So this is a significant change in attitude. So does that translate into advertising expenditures? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, we know, and we'll tell you because we like you. Oh man, I just realized I used blue and then green. I didn't throw anybody, did I? We asked, over the next 6 months, same time frame you're looking at here, do you expect your business will spend more or less money on advertising and marketing efforts than it did over the past 6 months? So we're going to look at the ones who said less, ones who said more. So in 2019, 14% said I'm going to spend less. Then it jumped up in 2020 to 28%. And then in 2021, back down to 15%, 17, 12, 14. So staying there. Amazing how similar these past 2 years are, except for this, of course. That's why I put it in green, because it stood out a little bit more. So what about the percentage who said, no, I'm going to spend more? Keep your eye on that. Back in 2019, 32% said, I'm going to spend more than I have before. Then it dipped down to 17% in November of 2020, up to 29%, 19%, 16%. What about now? Remember, their feelings looking backward about the same as they were last year. Their feelings about the present situation about the same as they were last year. Good portion of them pretty optimistic about the next 6 months. So what do you expect this number to be? 14%. That's right. It's the least it's been in 5 years. Despite the fact you have a third of these businesses saying, no, man, the next 6 months going to be good. It doesn't translate into anybody saying they're going to increase their advertising expenditures. Now, if you remember a few videos ago, we asked about the upcoming election and who did our panel think would be better or worse for small business and a lot of other things. Actually, it'd be interesting to go back and look at that now. Well, take a look at it. A lot of the panel kind of leaned towards Trump being better for small and medium businesses. Because the survey was sent out right after the election, could this be a honeymoon number? Like we're just all excited our boy got in? Because it doesn't translate down here. Yay, the next 6 months is going to be great. Oh, so you're going to spend more? Oh, no, not really. So our next barometer is in 3 months. It'll be really interesting to see what happens to this number. And as you go out and talk to local advertisers, this suggests 1 out of 3 times you're going to run into somebody who's pretty excited. And you can say you understand because you saw somebody write it down in a green number instead of a blue. I meant to do that.
You've been watching Corey's Local Marketing Minute, sponsored by our friends at AdCellerant. Learn more at adcellerant.com. Remember, if you'd like to hear more of Corey's insights, check out the Local Marketing Trends podcast. Just Google Burrell Podcast or look for the podcast link on BurrellAssociates.com.